Welcome to the Contrarians. Tonight we are talking Led Zeppelin. We have a panel. We're going to take our least favorite Led Zeppelin tracks and compile them into a best of album, and we're going to see if it works. So without any further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Contrarians, and tonight we have a spectacular panel. For one, we have Guitar Hack here, and has never been on a Contrarian show. Welcome, Guitar Hack. Nice to see you. How are you?
Well, thanks. Glad to be here. Thanks, everybody, for letting me participate. Yeah, man, I always wanted to come on one of these shows. I watch your stuff all the time, and it's always very cool.
A lot of fun. Nice to have you. And we've got, ladies and gentlemen, we have Steve Poleri here, who I have not seen Steve Poleri in person. And Steve's nice to see you. Welcome to the have you done a panel before?
Yeah, a while back, but since I'm West Coast, the times I usually can't make them.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, of course, everyone has seen Peter Jones and we've seen Bill Schuster, but gentlemen, nice to see everybody here tonight. The topic is we're going to go through each Led Zeppelin album, pick our least favorite tracks, and compile an album and see how are we really going to do this? This is going to be very complicated. Bill, why don't you explain it to everyone? This is Bill's topic, and he's going to go first. But Bill, Go ahead, explain to us the concept.
All right, thank you, Grant. Basically, the overall idea is to just look at the quality of this particular artist catalog here. If we take our least favorite track from each album and piece those together, are those songs all together as an album good enough to be a part of that catalog? Does this still make a good album that people will want to listen to?
Great topic. And based on that, since it's Bill's topic, people in the comments list your least favorite tracks from each record and make a compilation and then tell us if that works. So we're going to go from each album. We're going to go all the way through. Do you gentlemen want to do Coda?
Yep.
Is that cool?
Yep.
We're going to go do Coda. It is an official record. So we're just going to go around the panel and go around 9 times and do our least favorite tracks. And we will do this in an hour, ladies and gentlemen. So brace yourselves. This might go quick. So anyway, first album, Led Zeppelin 1, 1969, I believe. Yep. Bill, take it away. What's your least favorite track? And just everybody, we're going to go Bill, Steve, Hack, Peter Jones. Just keep going around. I guess this is all. We might have more people show up.
Hey, there we go.
And there's the other person, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Well, since this is Bill's topic, we are going to send it over to Bill Schuster. Let's start out with Led Zeppelin 1 from 1969. Bill, take it away. And we're just going to go Bill, Steve, Hack, Peter Jones, Tom Curlis, and we're just going to keep going around until we get this complete. All right, Bill, take it away.
All right, thank you, Grant.
You got it.
All right, we're starting off with Heavy Blues, go figure, Led Zeppelin 1. I'm going with I Can't Quit You, Baby. So,
but that's okay. Yeah, I get it. That's your least favorite. I got it.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a lot of these. I mean, this does not all mean, oh man, this song sucks or anything like that.
Right.
So,
all right, good enough. All right, Steve Poleri, you're up.
Funny, I was going to go with that, but I picked How Many More Times, which just is like a retread of Dazed and Confused to me. It's just like a bunch of tunes thrown together. It's like, oh, we needed one last song for this album. That's what it feels like to me. I like the tune, but I can't wait till it's over. Put it that way.
Oh, well, that definitely sounds like it's the bottom of your list. All right, cool. All right, Hack, nice to see you. What's your first pick off Led Zeppelin 1? Or your only pick?
I'm a sucker for slow blues and heavy blues, so I went Black Mountainside. It's cool. It's not a bad track, the Indian influence of tablas and all that. It's a cool song, but the other ones they're just better for me.
All right, cool. All right, Peter Jones.
This one was easy. Your Time Is Gonna Come is my least favorite on here. I know. This is a really hard exercise. If that's your least favorite track, my God.
Yeah.
I just prefer the other ones. So that's my choice from the first album.
This is very difficult. Oh my God. Thanks, Bill, for such a hard topic. All right, Tom Curlis, dazzle me with something.
Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate how hard this is. I mean, this is like, I mean, that's probably why it was chosen as a topic. It's like there's really not much bad Led Zeppelin, um, but I have to say, as I've gotten older, I think it's like an age thing too, right? When you're younger, I'm really into like the screaming bluesy kind of stuff, and then as I got older, I'm more into the latter catalog part of it, the sort of the latter part. So for me, if I had to pick one from Led Zeppelin one, I'm going to put "You Shook Me." Because I kind of feel like, there's a lot of borrowed Led Zeppelin, but this is like almost an exact rip of the Jeff Beck version. So I'm going with, and the shrieking vocals and stuff, after a while I'm like, okay, I get it. So I'm going with "You Shook Me."
I kind of agree. I think that would be the one I'd go with. But I'm just going to host this dog. It's just too much for me to handle. All right, cool, Tom. Excellent. Well, this actually might go through pretty fast because that was pretty quick. All right, let's go to Led Zeppelin 2. Bill, what's your pick?
I want to say I pretty well echo Tom's experience with the catalog. I also used to be into the early heavy blues stuff more, but now I prefer the latter half of the catalog. I find it more interesting and experimental. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Tom. So Led Zeppelin 2, I'm sticking with the heavy blues stuff. Bring it on home.
Oh, damn.
Boy, oh boy. You know what? When this goes live, the hate it's just gonna be a lot of hate in the comments. But it's all in fun. Don't hate anybody. We're just having fun. Talking music. All right, Bill. Thanks for the shocker. Let's throw it over to Steve. Steve?
Yes. The easy thing would have been a drum solo, but I'm going blues too. Lemon Song. I love the bass line, but it's another one where it's just rehashing stuff to me. And, Robert Johnson said it better.
I have a headache. All right, cool. All right, Hack. Shock us.
All right. Okay. I'm not anti-drummer. I love Bonham, but everything on there for me is so strong. I had to go with Moby Dick, even though it's got some really cool soloing and the riff is cool. But yeah, I had to be Moby Dick. Everything else on there is just too damn strong.
I'm gonna have to go with you, Hack. I totally 100% agree because it sounds like filler. It's great. I like the drum. I like it, but come on, when you're usually doing an instrumental, kind of filler. That's the way I look at it. All right, cool. All right, Peter Jones. Oh, but he's a drummer. Oh, this is going to drive him crazy. Sorry, Peter Jones. This is against you.
Just keep those IV pads close because this could be ugly. People hear what they hear. For me, obviously I can't include Moby Dick. I'll get struck down as we watch here. For me, it's Live and Love and Made. It's the shortest, this just the most simple and straightforward track. The other ones have a lot more meaning to me. And so I definitely prefer those. So Live and Love and Made would be the choice I would make on this one if I had to pick one.
All right. Excellent choice. You're wrong, but excellent choice. Tom Curlis, you are up next. What's your pick off of Led Zeppelin 2?
Man, this is quite the spread we got going here already. Because I'm going Thank You. There's something about that song that kind of bugs me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem convincing as much. I love Moby Dick. I love the riff. I love the drums. I can't say that. So I'm going, I don't know, for some reason, Thank You bugs me. I don't know why, but it's at least my least favorite on the record.
Little drops of rain.
Quiet, don't be cricket sounds. I'm going to insert cricket sounds here.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Whispers of the pain.
It just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that we all hear this stuff differently. Yeah. Isn't it funny how everyone hears it differently? And just amazing. All right. Excellent. Let's go on to Led Zeppelin 3. Now, I'd be interested to see what people think about this. Go ahead.
All right. Zeppelin
Sorry,
3. I'm going with the closing track on Zeppelin 3. Hats off to Roy Harper. Yet another bluesy song, based on the Buck-a-White song. shake them down. But I do dig the vibrato effect on Plant's voice. That's kind of cool, but still, Zeppelin 3 has everything else that I like better, obviously. So hats off to Roy Harper's my pick.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Bill. All right, go ahead, Steve. You're up.
Yeah, this is the album could have been perfect, but there's two tunes on here that I think they could have used. Hey, what can I do? Or on those. So
yeah, why didn't that? This is a dumb. Why wasn't that on the record? Was that like an outtake? I know it was a B-side, but that would be the obvious track that you'd want to include on here. Obviously, it's from the same session. So,
I agree with I was like, hats off to Roy Harper. I think it's just lazy, personally.
Yeah.
And the other one I was going to do was Out on the Tiles. It's like, it's good, but I don't like the drum sound on that. I don't think this has the best drum sound. But I'll stick with hats off to Roy Harper just because I really don't like that tune.
Okay.
Really.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Hack, what you got?
All right, looks like we got some consensus. As much as I love the slow blues stuff that they do, hats off to Roy Harper. I don't know, it's just, I mean, the sound of it, they're trying to sound like make it sound like a very old recording. It's just not very interesting. It doesn't really go anywhere. Everything else on there is so good. This is like the first song that I'm picking that I'm actually not fond of. The other two I love that I picked that were the worst, but they're still great. But this is the first one that I'm actually really not fond of. It's hats off to Roy Harper.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Peter Jones.
Yeah, I'll jump on the bandwagon. It's hats off.
There you go.
What's interesting about this record is that in October of 70, this is 43 minutes long. It's a long record for albums that were done at this time. And even if you didn't add the B-side to it, you could have taken the 341 off this, and it would have still been plenty long enough. I mean, you can even take Ron off there if people don't care for that. And the album was still, you would have never felt shortchanged lengthwise. And end with That's the Way, which would have been pretty impressive. So yeah, hats off. That was an easy one. And I agree with Hack. This is just a song I just don't care for at all.
There you go. Almost unanimous.
Mm.
There you go. All right. Now this one should be really interesting. Led Zeppelin 4, 1971.
Oh, yeah.
Tom. Tom, for crying out loud.
It is unanimous, by the way.
It is? Okay.
I'm also going hats off to Roy Harper. It just feels a little tossed off. It doesn't feel like a fully realized idea. And it's just kind of, to me, the fact that they had, hey, what can I do? And Poor Tom.
Tom.
Come on. Both of those are better. So anyway, that's my opinion.
They should have been on the record. Oh, well, it is what it is. Like, we're going to go back in time and change it. We're not.
Yeah.
All right. Led Zeppelin 4. Sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm on like a mission. All right. Led Zeppelin 4, 1971. All right, Bill. I want to hear it.
All right. That was probably our only unanimous pick. This one definitely won't be. I'm going to get some haters for this, but it's rock and roll. I love the song. It's a classic. Maybe part of it is that I have heard it so many times over so many decades now. Still a great track, but man, that whole album is just masterful. So rock and roll it is, overplayed or not. It's got to go.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. It's just kind of recycled rock and roll, which is fine, but there's really not anything on there that's really monumental. All right, don't burn my house down or anybody, ladies and gentlemen, or Bill's house. Steve Poleri, go. You're up.
Yeah, I'm going Four Sticks. I can't. There's not a bad song on here. I just says Four Sticks because maybe it meanders a little bit, but that's about it. I don't really have there's not a bad song on this album.
I mean, it's a perfect record. It's just nitpicking at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. So yeah. I get it. All right, Hack. What you got?
All right. So the whole thing of listener fatigue, I kind of try to put that aside because rock and roll is one of the songs that always gets played on the radio. So I just put that aside. And there's nothing bad on this record, but you had to pick one. And this is going to cause a little controversy maybe, but I went with Battle of Evermore. I think it's the weakest track. I know.
Oh my God.
I went with Battle of Evermore. The other ones are just, I don't know, they're just all for me. better tracks. So
Hack's emails
Something
down
had to
below
go.
if you want to make send him hate mail.
Nice.
I would do that to you. Okay. I need a moment. Okay. I'm okay. Peter Jones.
Now, my foresight was not only having the paddles close for myself, but for my compadres when they all have heart attacks after I make my pick. So this is true and honest to me. And again, those of you who already have my hate mail because of the decline of Western civilization people I offed on Peter Kerr's channel.
That was quite a moment.
It is exactly on I wrote it. There it is. Least favorite is Stairway to Heaven. Sorry.
I can understand why.
Do we need to like shock you? You know.
Well,
says the guy who doesn't like Bring It On Home.
The thing is with Stairway to Heaven, someone might not dislike it, but I will go on record as that guitar solo is one of the best guitar solos on the planet. That along the Watchtower, Hendrix, Stairway to Heaven, Jimmy Page's work on that track.
Clapton's I'm So Glad with Cream.
Yeah, I'm not a Clapton guy. Jimmy, I like Jimmy and Jeff Beck a lot better. Yeah. I think Jeff Beck was the freaking best ever, and that's a whole other show.
That's the rest of the songs all offer something really special to me, as a musician and a drummer. Mm-hmm. It's just my choice. So the Stairway would be out of the picture. So
such a brilliant solo. Oh my God. All right. Tom Curlis, Stairway to Heaven?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm with Bill. I'm going rock and roll as well. And I put in the parentheses, it is I can't help it. It is fatigue. It's just I've heard it so many times. And when I listen to this record, it's just hard not to skip it. And I do love it. It's got so much energy. It's kinetic. This album is a great record. This record is so hard because it's so good. But if I have to pick one, I'm going rock and roll.
The drum ending on that has probably influenced more drummers.
Yeah. It's so
tiny. And the guitar solo on Stairway to Heaven has probably influenced so many guitar players. I'm just saying.
Bonham's got his influences too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Was it Keep a Knockin'?
Yeah, you and I talked about it on your channel. So.
Yeah.
And I do believe that the guitar solo on Stairway, well, for one, he's playing a Fender 12-string electric. I'm pretty sure, and I think he's playing the Telecaster on it.
Yeah, it's the Telecaster.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking great. Okay. There we are. A lot of guitar talk, a lot of drum talk. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. All right, let's throw it over to Bill. We're going to look at Houses of the Holy, jumping to 1973. All right, what's your pick?
This one was even harder for me. This is probably my favorite Zeppelin album. So, I know a lot of people have problems with Jamaica. I know a lot of people have problems with the grunge. I think those are both brilliant tributes. Love them. I love every song in this album, though, but I have to pick The Ocean, painful as it is.
Wow.
Awesome, Bill.
All right.
But all fair. All right, Steve Poleri, what you got?
I'm going with grunge. I think it's just kind of throwaway. I would have put
I love that.
Holy. It would have been a perfect record, in my opinion. They had it in there.
All right. A lot of people don't like that track. I have no problem with it. I like it. It's just kind of just the way it's structured, the rhythmic quality of it.
The grooves.
It's raga. All right. Cool. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. All right, Hack, what you got?
All right. So Houses of the Holy is like top 3 Zeppelin albums for me. There's not a bad track on this record, but something had to go. And I'm going with the grunge as well, although I love the damn song. I love the Where's the Bridge, because there's no C section. I love that. Where's the confounded bridge?
I love it.
So the song kind of just dies off at the end, but the groove is very, very cool. I mean, I love the track. I love everything on this record, but you got to pick one. So the grunge.
All right. It's got to go.
Yeah.
All right. Peter, what you got?
I also go with a crunch, and which is unusual for a drummer because I think Bonham's feel and groove on that is really, really outstanding. And the accompanying bass line and the way it dances in and out of the rhythm that Bonzo's doing is just spectacular. This all comes down to I can't stand Plant's vocals on this. I just think they're just kind of whiny and thin and a little bit more on the annoying side. So this one kind of stuck out that way. And I wrote down, kind of a wasted instrumental, because if they could have had a better vocal to it, this could have been really something cool. But the crunch for me.
I mean, I'm looking at the track listing now. This is an impossible task. I could not throw any of them away. I would I forfeit. I can't. The fact that one of these, let's say they didn't exist, this record I think is a perfect record. All right, Tom, you're up.
Can I interrupt for just a second?
Of course.
Just a quick question for Peter, for everybody here. Since the Crunge was a James Brown tribute, what do you think if James Brown had done a guest vocal on this instead of Plant?
Well, he is the godfather of soul.
Well, and he does know where the bridge is.
Exactly. He does know where the bridge is.
Well, it always just seems to me that the song was not a style that Plant was comfortable with. And it just seems to me that he couldn't find a phrasing or a melody or something that sat in the context of what instrumentally they were doing. And it just seems to me that they're both in kind of playing different songs.
And
that's a good point.
A throwaway to me. I think that's a good point. Is the vocals makes it a throwaway tune.
Yeah. So do you think that this is maybe? I don't know the story behind it. It appears it is kind of. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Maybe this was a jam or something. I don't know how it grew. Everybody's listened to the songwriter.
You've got three completely distinctive rhythmic patterns going on. You've got Bonham's groove. John Paul is playing his, and Jimmy is playing something completely different. And then when they hit that middle section, and they tighten it right back up, and then bam, they completely separate again. If that had been even just an instrumental or something, man, I'd be all over it. But Robert doesn't work for me. So if it's James Brown, sure.
No, might as well throw Mr. Brown in there. We'd have a bridge.
I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That was a fun exercise for that track.
Did you forget Tom again, or did he do his?
Oh, Tom, I thought he would jump in.
I was just going to say, I ain't disclosing no names, but...
Right.
I get on a tangent and I forget what we're doing.
No,
all right,
cool.
Tom.
I'm going crunge as well. I'm going crunge. I agree with everything we've talked it through. It's basically, it seems to me like it's a cool jam, but it's not really, in my opinion, it's not top. I mean, I love that Led Zeppelin experiments. They push it to the nth degree, and they sometimes they hit a grand slam, and then sometimes it's like the crunge is like, not quite, but it's it's still cool.
I don't know. I love it. I can't not.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, thanks, Tom. All right, Bill. We're at Houses of the Holy. Oh no, sorry. Good gracious. Yeah. Well, we're jumping to 1975, and everybody knows this is basically a collection of.
Yeah. But I'm going with one of those leftover tracks, not one of the newly recorded ones. I'm going with, in fact, the one that was paired up and recorded at the same sessions for my Zeppelin 4 pick, Rock and Roll. I'm going with Boogie with Stu. Both songs featured Ian Stewart, so I might as well be consistent there. Though Rock and Roll is far superior to Boogie with Stu. I'm not a huge fan of Boogie with Stu. It's not terrible, but I'd be perfectly fine if they completely left it off physical graffiti.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. All right, thanks, Bill. Steve,
you took my one. I'm going to go, and this is probably not going to go over well. In My Time of Dying. Hear me out. I love the live version on the DVD from the early 2000s, but there's the edit when they do the slide slow comes. It's a poor edit. You can hear that it's an edit, and it just, to me, it goes on and on. And I always think he was saying, "Oh my Cheez-It." That's what it sounds like to me when he says, "Oh my Jesus."
Well, I thought you said "my Cheez-It."
Yeah, that's what it sounds like he's saying.
I like Cheez-It.
Yes,
right.
So But I love the live version of it. I think it's amazing live. But this one, it just kind of meanders.
So that edit drives you crazy.
Oh yeah, that you can hear it. You can hear it's an obvious edit when the slide comes in. It's just really poorly done.
Yeah, that would drive. Well, once you hear it, you can't go back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
So-
that's a good pick. All right, Hack, what you got?
All right, Physical Graffiti. This was tough because I love all the tracks on this, including Boogie with Stu. So I had to pick one, and I went Down by the Seaside.
I love that track.
Everything else is just so. I mean, everything is good. I mean, what do? You got to pick something, and I dig all the other tracks, so some had to go. But yeah,
But is that
yeah.
worse than Boogie with Stu? I don't know.
I dig Boogie with Stu.
I do
man.
too.
I like Boogie with
I
Stu.
like it.
I like Boogie
All
with Stu.
right, Bill, we're gonna be shunned. Okay, that's cool. It's all right.
Not the first time.
Yeah, it's not the first time. I'm used to it. All right, cool, Hack. Bad choice, but that's okay. All right, Peter Jones, you're up.
Well, mine was in the similar reasons for the grunge. I went with Black Country Woman. I thought the music was really strong. Again, I don't think the vocals helped this. And so from that standpoint, I that just didn't work for me. I kind of look at these other tracks, and you've mentioned Boogie and Down by the Seaside. The only thing I ask of an artist is if you change styles and want to go into a different direction, just do it well. Just do it well. And to me, Down by the Seaside is that same kind of Honey Drippers feel kind of thing where Plant's in his wheelhouse. To me, it just
He
works.
loves that stuff.
Yeah, and Boogie with Stu is just kind of fun and kind of weird and rompy, and just there's nothing on any of the albums that's even remotely like that track. And you just take it as a one-off, and the one-off either annoys the heck out of you, or you just kind of go, well, okay, But yeah, Black Country Woman on this one for me.
All right, fair enough. All right, Tom, what's your pick?
I'm with Hack. I'm going Down by the Seaside.
Hey,
Look at that.
For me, it doesn't quite. I mean, it's an amazing record. I mean, this is just what an album, what a double record. But there's no way that Down by the Seaside would have cut it on 4, in my opinion. Just so I could see why it was a cast off at the time.
Okay.
So
fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are up to 1976, and we're looking at presents. Bill, what's your first pick?
All right. I like this album quite a bit more than a certain Mr. Popoff does. So I like all the tracks on this. But I'm going with Candy Store Rock. It's great fun, got a rockabilly groove to it. I like it, but it's not going to compete with, Achilles or For Your Life or anything like that. So
Yeah.
Candy Store Rock.
All right. Steve?
So it keeps on taking my picks. I had this Candy Store Rock, but I'm going to go my second is T for One. Kind of reminds me of Since I've Been Loving You. It's a great tune. Just like I feel like I've heard it before.
oh God.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, Steve, it's okay.
Wait till you hear my next one, though. Sorry.
All right, it's all good. Everything's great. Okay, Hack, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna go with Candy Store Rock. I mean, it's his ode to Elvis. I think the way he planned was singing and the sort of style of it, the rockabilly thing.
Loves it.
But yeah, he's totally into that stuff. But it just doesn't match up with the other stuff on there. Like T for One, man, it's just stellar. Achilles. I mean, there's just so much on here. Yeah, this is the weakest track. Again, not a bad song, but you have to pick one. And this is, I think, the weakest one on there.
You guys familiar with you'd probably know Concerts for the People of Kampuchea, that soundtrack, and Plant's doing Little Sister with Rockpile.
Rockpile.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Kills it.
I can listen. I love it when he does that, though. I think Plant's delivery of Little Sister, he really can do that style so well. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't. I know you guys are picking it, but I don't know. I kind of like it. All right, Peter Jones.
I am also an enormous fan of this album. It's in my top three. And I like all the tracks on here. So this one was the most difficult album for me. But I will say that Candy Store Rock is probably the one that I could set aside and not sacrifice the rest of the record. And, so that one works for me. T for one, I respect Steve's opinion. It's what he feels. You were mentioning Jimmy's solo. I personally, this is my favorite Jimmy Page solo of his entire career.
Nice.
I just think it is how disciplined and slow and perfect the feel is. Bonham is just breathtaking on this, and it's just got so much emotion and so much. It's my favorite track on the album, and it's one of my three favorite of all Zeppelin songs. So,
Excellent.
But Steve, I respect what you're doing, but Candy Store Rock for me.
Yeah, this is just an exercise. This is just a fun exercise. Hey, it's hard to pick the least favorite track on the record when you like it all. So,
Yeah.
like I said,
it's tough.
list it below in the comments. We do want to hear from you. So we want to hear from you. All right, Tom, what's your pick?
Yeah, I am. It's tough. I was kind of thinking about possibly putting like Royal Orleans in there, or maybe I wasn't sure. I was like maybe or a Hot Song for No, but I was like, no, those grooves are just amazing. So
Yeah.
I have to go Candy Store Rock as well.
All right.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I like this next album. Some people don't, but I do. In Through the Outdoor, 1979. Bill Schuster.
I'm right there with you, Grant. I like this album.
I like it when Plant, and John Paul Jones basically are carrying the flag for this.
Yeah,
I like all the keyboards. But when you listen to this record, you can see where Robert Plant's going with his solo career. You can see that trajectory. You can see it. But I like this record. Anyway, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the album that makes me wonder where they might have gone as a band if Bonham had lived. So, yeah. Very interesting, experimental. So yeah, I really dig the whole record, but I'm going with Southbound Suarez. It kind of continues the feel of Candy Store Rock from the last album and has a similar vibe to it. So, which I love that stuff, but yeah, I'm not taking out anything else here. So Southbound Suarez it is. It's also one of the rare Plant Jones credits. Very rare. So
yeah, and that's funny because that's the second track in the lineup. I'm just looking at all the tracks. Yeah, I can see that. All right, cool. Good pick, Bill. Not a good pick. There's really nothing weak. All right, thanks, Bill. All right, Steve, what you got?
Okay, don't kill me.
Don't give Steve any hate mail.
I don't hate any of their tunes, but I absolutely loathe this tune, and I know I'm going to get crucified for it. And I can't pronounce it. That's part of the reason why I hate it. Carousel, whatever it's called. I hate the keyboards. It sounds like there's 10 different tunes thrown together. The only part I like is when they go into sounds like Under Pressure by David Bowie and Queen. There's that one little nice instrumental part. It kind of again, it just doesn't go anywhere for me. It sounds like a tired band, in my opinion, on that tune.
Thanks, Steve, for that wrong pick. All right, cool. I get it. It's all fine. It's no big deal. Yeah, I got it. Bill Schuster may cry, but I'll fix it in post. All right, Hack, what you got?
It's the keyboard.
All right, I
all the
love this
keyboards.
album. I love this album to death, man. Page on a Strat. Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, he sounds great on a Strat.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the beginning of In the Evening where he bends, pushes the trem arm down and just lets it come up and then starts that riff. I mean, it's just epic,
Is his Ice Blue Strat, Hack?
I don't know.
Well, that's what he's playing a lot then. I bet it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a killer. Oh God, I love this record. I got to pick something and I hate picking something because I love this song. I love every song on this record, but man, I had to go with I'm Gonna Crawl.
Ooh.
You know, I love Plant's vocals on this, the crooning, because he does the croon thing really, really well. It's a beautiful song, but man, there's other stuff on here that's just a touch better, but I hate picking even that. I mean, this is like probably, I don't know, maybe my favorite Zeppelin record. I love this album. So, but there you go. Some had to go.
Got to be something. All right, that's cool, Hack. No biggie. I'll live. All right, Peter Jones, go ahead.
Well, a couple quick things about this record. I have real mixed feelings about it. Sometimes, if I have a clean conscience, I can come at it from a fresh perspective and enjoy certain elements of it. To answer Bill's question, the rumors were that the direction of the next album was going to be back much heavier. Now, what that means, open to interpretation, right? We don't know. It was never going to be Whole Lot of Love again. That's never going to happen. So we don't know what that meant, but they felt and understood how the public perceived it in some sense, with too much keyboard, not as much Jimmy, that kind of thing. Second thing, from a drummer standpoint, is for the reason this album is really strong for me is that, to me, this is Bonham's masterpiece. This is where John Bonham just makes his reign so clear, so dominant. And if you listen to the outtakes that are all over the internet of him in the studio playing these tracks, they're mesmerizing. They're just mesmerizing. They're just from another planet. They're just not even human. Nobody's ever been able to come close to what he was able to do. Now, the final mixes are watered down a little bit. And of course, when it's just drums, it's heavy. But oh my Lord, is it impressive. And his sound, I mean, Fool in the Rain on its own defines a generation of drummers right there. And this album is also frustrating because I was in line to see them in Chicago on the tour. And of course, we know that didn't happen. The one track for me that just kind of doesn't fit here is Hot Dog. So I kind of I pick that one. I enjoy the other ones. This one I could easily have done without. It just seems out of place. So Hot Dog.
I think I would agree, Peter Jones. All right, Tom Curlis.
Yeah, I was debating between Hot Dog and I'm Gonna Crawl, and I think I gotta go. I'm Gonna Crawl because I like T for one. I am 100% in, but like with the slow blues, that you're almost, it's ready to break at any time, but it doesn't.
Right.
But I'm Gonna Crawl kind of, I don't know, after a while I kind of get a little like, okay, I got, it kind of feels like kind of too long to me or something. So I'm going to go with that one.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, now we're to 1982 and the comp. I guess it's a comp. Well, not really. It's a bunch of unreleased stuff. Coda from 1982. Gentlemen, what you got? Bill?
Right.
Dazzle me.
I don't know how dazzling this is going to be, but it's a decent song. It's not great. It's not one of my favorites, but I don't know. I think Plant's vocal may be the thing. It's the way he says, Darlene. So, yeah, Darlene is my pick from Coda.
All right. Well, that was short and sweet. That works for me. Yeah, that's from...
The song is not short and sweet enough. I think they could have cut it in half.
Could be more. All right. Excellent. All right. Steve Poleri.
That's my pick too. And it's that vocal. Just, yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right. Hack.
All right. I'm not anti-drummer. I swear I'm not anti-drummer.
Mr. Bonzo's Montrose.
That's the one. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Love Bonzo. Love his playing. One of my top, I don't know, 2-3 favorite drummers of all time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could have maybe put a little more thought into, because there is accompaniment to his playing. There's those sort of random like keyboardy things, but if put a riff around it or something, or I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, the other tracks on there, I mean, they got some Ozone Baby is amazing. There's Walter's Walk, and yeah. I love Darlene. It's just, yeah, that's just sort of like, I know they had to do it, they had to do something, but I don't know, maybe if they did it a little more creatively, maybe it would sit a little better. But yeah, I got to go with that.
Yeah, you always wonder how finished these tracks were. I know Jimmy compiled this, right? Wasn't he the one compiled it? I don't know.
Didn't add vocals to something from like 73 or something on that? There's a new vocal.
I don't know.
Walter's Walk has got vocals from 72 added with some extra 81 overdubbing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they did work on some stuff. All right, cool. Okay. Who's next? Peter Jones.
I'm going with Darlene. Again, vocally, this just doesn't work for me. Had it been included on the record, it would have just seemed like a very bad attempt to do another Fool in the Rain. The riffs they're not similar. One is a halftime shuffle, but the Darlene isn't too far off it, and they're just too close for me. And I just don't care for that. And I will say that I think We're Gonna Groove might be the greatest non-album track of their entire catalog. Oh my God, does this song crush? That should have opened Zeppelin 1. Sorry, I know everybody says Good Times Bad. Open with We're Gonna Groove. And that would have been impressive as all get out. I mean, I love, Good Times, Bad Times, but especially this live version, you can tell this was just a band that was just full flame. They were on fire. But Darlene in this one.
Okay, sweet. All right, Tom.
All right. Man, it pains me because I love Bonzo to death, but I gotta go. I'm with Hack on this. I'm going Bonzo's Montreux. It feels like kind of like Bonzo just warming up or something, and then they added like some electronic effects to it or something.
That's really what it was.
Yeah, but hey, it's still cool. I mean, it's still Bonzo, and it's freaking the groove is still amazing as always, right? But but I'm with you, Peter. Man, We're Gonna Groove is just so killer. Like that is just, oh man, I love that track. Every time I turn on Coda, it's like crank it up. That first track, so good.
Awesome. All right, so we've got some time left. Bill, how did your comp go? How does it look? Does it stand up?
All right, I pretty well actually created an album out of it originally, and it's more or less in chronological order. So you got side one with the more bluesy tracks, and side two with the more latter day experimental stuff, in addition to the rockabilly stuff, oddly enough. But yeah, overall, I think it's a decent album. I would still give this a B+ as an album.
Okay,
taking all my picks.
Awesome.
Could it stand up to the best of their catalog? Obviously not. These are my least favorite songs from each album, but I mean, compared to any other artist in general, and yeah. How many bands could we do this with where we take their worst tracks and make an album out of this, and it comes out still pretty good?
Yeah, not many bands have a catalog that stands up like this one. So
yeah. I'm curious, Grant, I meant to do this and I forgot.
Sure.
I kept a running tab of what songs got votes.
Oh,
I'm kind of curious if we have an overall, because we had the one consensus pick, and then we had a few that were very close with one outlier. So
I didn't keep track.
I didn't either.
Hats Off and Candy Store Rock were
Probably
the most common.
All right, Steve. All right, cool, Bill. That works. What would you give you? How does your Steve? How does your?
I'd have the longest running album with all the long tunes that he picked. That's for sure. It'd be pretty good. I think the only ones that wouldn't fit are again like the Crunch, and then Hats Off to Roy Harper. Everything else, you got How Many More Times, In My Time of Dying, the song I can't pronounce, T for One. Those are good. Good long tunes.
Yeah.
Steve's going to sell the most records.
Definitely.
No.
Steve,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve's got the best record for sure.
He's got the best
These
record.
companies making the most money.
Oh my God. Well, this is all in fun. Hack, how did your comp go? How do you feel when you look at it? How's it
Well,
stand up?
It's pretty drum heavy because I got both Moby Dick and Bonzo's Montreux.
I take back what I said. I'm
Yeah.
buying hacks.
Yeah, buy this one. Yeah, I mean, the only, again, these are all really cool. The only weak ones for me, like Hats Off, as I mentioned earlier, and Bonzo's Montreux. Getting back to Bonzo's Montreux for a minute, I'm not comparing Eric Card to Bonzo, but when they did that car jam on the Revenge record, I believe it was, and Bruce Kulick played a little figure, and it kind of turned it into a little bit of an instrumental song. Had they done something like that, that's what I mean about being a little more creative. I think that would have made it a little bit, a little more appealing, I think. But yeah, outside of those two, I love the, Seaside, County Store Rock. I'm gonna crawl is probably the best one that on here that I had to pick, unfortunately. But there you go.
All right. Excellent. Peter Jones, how's it looking?
Yeah, your time is gonna come. Live and Love and Maid, Hats Off, Stairway, The Crunge, Black Country, Candy Store, Hot Dog, and Darlene.
It's a pretty damn good comp.
That's a good record.
Golly, that's a good record.
There's some good
Great
things.
record.
There's some good things on there. I guess
Couple.
it just means I enjoy some other stuff more.
Right.
But the ones that really I love Your Time Is Going to Come. It just wasn't going to work. Living, Loving, something had to come off. I wasn't going to take off Moby Dick. And like you were talking about, Hack, the only reason Moby Dick worked and the only reason Toad worked for Cream is it had a cool riff with it.
Yeah.
It made it a song.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's without a vocal, obviously it made it an instrumental, but that's the only way it worked. And, I understand, non-drummers are going to look at Montreux and go, yeah, whatever.
I mean, to your point, I'm always humming that riff to Moby Dick. It's always in my head. It's in there.
It's catchy. It's
Yeah.
hard.
It's a good
Once
one.
you hear it,
Yeah.
like they still play it today on the FM Rock radio station here every now and then. And my God, I don't turn it off.
Nope.
Yeah.
And actually the drum solo itself is not very flashy or crazy to be audio only. You watch him do it, it's impressive as all get out. But there are other solos on records that are more flashy and are busier and that kind of thing. But it just seems to work. And if it had happened in their later career, it wouldn't have worked. It had to come
solo, right? Isn't
What's
it?
that?
That's an edited solo too that they took, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he could have gone as long as they wanted him to go, but it's just, but it's more, you understand it more as a tribute to the jazz stuff. I mean, there's Max Roach all through this thing. Holy crap. All the jazz drummers are on full display that were Bonham's heroes. And of course you get the triplets and all the things that were in there, but he'd done a lot of that already on the first record. But they felt there was, we got to show this guy off. So,
all right, cool, Peter, awesome. Tom Kurt, how does your comp look, Tom?
It looks pretty good. I mean, it's still, even the cast-offs, it's like that's what's kind of band Zeppelin is. Even the cast-offs is a good record. But I mean, it's amazing how eclectic it is. I mean, between You Shook Me, Down by the Seaside, I'm Gonna Crawl, Bronzos. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the Crunge, it's very eclectic, even with the cast-offs. But it's still a decent record. I mean, it's still something I would want to listen to. That's how good they were. I mean, and even something like Moby Dick, I mean, that riff is just fantastic, right? I mean, Jimmy Page was like on 2 was like just cranking out riff after riff after riff, just classic. And him and Bonzo were like this. I mean, it's just that symbiosis between those guys. It was just so killer.
Well, just the chemistry between all four.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I've always said, if there was ever a time you could be a fly on the wall, is if I could stand in that room unnoticed and let them fire into Train Kept a Rollin' that first time and heard what that sounded like.
Yeah, I would like to have heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be there at that
Goosebumps
moment. Yeah. Excellent.
He said they all looked at each other, started laughing because they knew they're like, oh
It was
my
immediate.
god, right
There
away.
was just no.
Well, when it works, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We want to hear from you in the comments. I want you to take your least, if you can do it, we want to hear what your least favorite tracks are, put them together in an album, and list it for everybody. And this was all in pure fun, because really, there are really any bad tracks in this catalog. But it's always fun to talk Led Zeppelin, and I think we are due to talk Led Zeppelin. So I want to applaud Bill Schuster for coming up with this topic. If you'd like to be on these panels, you could be on these panels as well. Look, we've got Hack here and Steve Poleri finally making an appearance again. You could be on here. We have a Patreon if you'd like to join that. The link is down below. We have merch. We don't have any captain hats right now, but we should. And we don't. But there's merch down below. Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a sweatshirt. Help support the channel that way. We also have a Ko-fi. Buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We would love to have that. And we also take donations. We just like the kindness. We like money here. And we do this. We like to talk music. It's really just about turning you on to stuff. That's the only reason we are here. And this is the only reason we're doing this. We'd love to talk music, and hopefully we can turn you on to some of this. Hey, maybe you don't know Led Zeppelin. I don't know. But check it out. List your list down below, and we'll take a look at it. Gentlemen, want to thank you all for doing it. Hack, nice seeing you tonight. Steve Poleri, always nice to hear from you. Bill Schuster, Tom Curlis, Peter Jones, and I'm Grant Arthur. We will see you on the next one.